So I've done case studies before. I haven't done it for a long time, so we're doing another case study today. This house is a completed project of a flip that we're doing that we'll be selling in a couple weeks. I'm gonna walk you through the entire deal, exactly how we got it, how we funded it, the numbers on it, why we decided to flip it instead of rent it, and everything in between. So before we get started, if you could smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm, that'd be greatly, greatly appreciated. Let's take a look inside. So like I said, this is a house that we're deciding to flip instead of rent. So if you follow me in here, if you look at the finishes on this house, it's nicer finishes. This is the kitchen here. You know, we got granite countertops, we got tile backsplash, we got stainless steel appliances, we got new cabinets. But to be honest with you, the finishes that we do for rental properties and the finishes that we do for flips are about the same. You know, first of all, we're not doing, you know, high-end $500,000, $1 million flips. The price points are very similar. Whether we flip them or rent them, the price point's about the same, so the finishes are about the same. For us, a lot of people do lower end finishes on the rental properties. We don't, because we want to be able to charge the highest rent, and when things go south, we want our properties to stand out above everybody else's property. So like I said, we did a full renovation on the kitchen. We put LVT floors in, something again we do on rental properties. We do no carpet in rental properties. As you can see over here, there's some carpet in the bedroom. That's why this is a flip, because on rental properties, maintenance is a problem. Carpet gets dirty, wears and tears, and then you gotta go out and you gotta replace the carpet when tenants move out. But these LVT floors, they're waterproof, they're very resistant to damage, and they're somewhat easy to replace if you do have to replace one piece at a time. So we do these in all of our properties. Carpet in bedrooms on flips, LVT in the bedrooms on rental properties. So you might be asking yourself, well, how did I get this deal? So we do a lot of different marketing. We've done the cold calling, the direct mail, the RVM, the SMS, the PPC, the SEO. We've done all that stuff. But this deal specifically, we actually bought from another wholesaler. So a lot of our deals that we buy are from other wholesalers. So a lot of people are like, well, whoa, I don't buy from wholesalers. Why not? It's free money on the table. So we actually got an email blast about this property, and I called them immediately. It was in a neighborhood that we loved. You know, usually rehabs on these houses are like $20,000 to $30,000, so they're not big rehabs. So I saw the price come in, I was like, that's close. Jumped on the phone, called them. But what happened was I got a little bit emotional to buy this house. I called him and she's like, oh man, I'm getting blown up. You know, there's a lot of interest in this property. I was like, all right, bet. What price makes it work? She's like, $94,000. I was like, bet, let's do it. But I didn't actually walk through the house. I bought this property based on the pictures. So there's a benefit and a downfall. It allows me to take action quickly because I can buy it based on pictures. But the downfall is sometimes you don't always see everything that needs done. So for an example, like right there used to be a wall-mounted air conditioning unit, which we had to take out. We had to replace the siding, the drywall, everything in between. The whole house was covered in textured walls, which I was not aware of. So we had to skim coat almost the entire property, which again, cost a little bit more money. So if you look in here, one of the things that we actually had to do was replace the furnace, again, which cost a little bit more money, wasn't expected. But you know, you live and you learn at the end of the day. So the plan was to put about $20,000 in rehab into this property, but we actually ended up spending closer to $30,000, if not a little bit more. The lucky thing though, as you know, this market's going crazy. We planned to sell this for $140,000, but we actually ended up selling this for $155,000. So even though we went over budget on the rehab, we went over budget on the ARV as well. But at the end of the day, if we wouldn't have sold this above the ARV, I probably would have broke even on this deal because we went about a little over $10,000 over the rehab budget. And when I bought the property, I pinched the numbers so close, again, because I got emotional. Other people want this deal. So I offered whatever they wanted. You got to offer the number that you want to offer, not what other people are offering, the number that makes sense for you. So luckily, this property sold for about $15,000 more, which, you know, kind of saved me at the end of the day. So we'll end up netting about $25,000 in profit on this deal. And we'll own this property for about 90 days, give or take. So if you look here, the shower has a nice subway surround with black grout lines. It's a very nice finished product. Again, this is a house that we're selling, but even in our rental properties, we do the same finishes. The reason behind this is because of damages. If you do the cheap white Formica surrounds, then those can get damaged. People can poke holes in them, then you got to rip them out and redo them. They're not, the biggest waterproofing. They're not the best at waterproofing, but tile, you're really good at actually waterproofing. So we do the same surround in flips or in rentals. We do the tile because we don't like it to have damage at the end of the day. It reduces our maintenance cost. And then also in flips and everything, we always want it to look as nice as possible. So we put in new 6-panel doors. If you look right here, we do black finishes on the knobs. That's like what's in today. We do white and gray. We used to do brushed nickel, but we do black now. All the fixtures, like the light fixtures, they're black as well. All the fixtures are black. Again, it's just what's in today. It's what pops, and it's what gets people to make a buying decision. So some of the other things that you need to ask yourself when you're flipping houses is, what do you actually need to do? So something that I ask myself often when flipping a house is, what would a buyer want in the property? Now, there's some things that you may want to do that you don't need to do. Like if you walk in, you can put gold on the walls, but when a buyer walks in and there's not gold, the buyer's not going to be like, well, why isn't there gold on the walls? So you don't want to go too far over and above, because then you waste money, but you want to do enough to get them to actually buy. So if you look at these walls, like I said, it needs skim coated. It doesn't look the greatest. If you look at this wall, it's a paneled wall. If you look at this wall, it's a drywall wall. So you got to ask yourself sometimes, how much do you actually need to do? We skim coated some of the house to make it look good, but other areas of the house we left like this and didn't want to spend the extra money, because in this neighborhood, it's about $150,000 neighborhood. I didn't think that it needed it. Why spend money on something that you don't have to spend money on? It's a waste of money at the end of the day. So if you can save some money on the rehab, that money goes directly into your pocket in profit. So going back to what actually needs done, if you look at this backyard, it's not a beautiful backyard. We left the shed. We didn't put any like crazy outdoor entertainment space, because the thing is, when we looked at comps, is that the comps didn't have anything over the top. So we didn't spend money on this, which again puts more money into our pocket in profit at the end of the day. So long story short, like I said, we'll end up making about $25,000 in profit on this deal. Thankfully, we sold this house for about $15,000 more than we hoped to sell it for. So we're actually going to walk away with making money instead of breaking even. But the big lesson here is to not get emotional making buying decisions. If it works for somebody else, but it doesn't work for you, that's okay. Move on to the next deal. I got emotional on this deal. I almost broke even. Luckily, the market's booming right now, so we'll make about $25,000. Drop a comment below. Let me know how you like the renovation here. What questions do you have as far as rehabbing projects? As always, I appreciate you being here. Hopefully this added value. Smash that like button, drop a comment, and we'll see you on the next one.